From the front page of the Yonkers Statesman, August 26, 1916. Headline: 6 more paralysis cases. The number of cases of infantile paralysis in Yonkers reported at the office of the local health bureau took another jump today. 6 cases have been reported since yesterday afternoon. These cases bring the number of victims in Yonkers up to 76. No additional deaths have been reported. After consultation with the Health Bureau, Mr. Gorton, Vice President of the Library Board, in the absence of the other members of the board, has given notice that the public library will be closed until September 5th, subject to further notice. Headline: Crisis in the Negotiations. A crisis in the negotiations looking to avoidance of a nationwide railroad strike appeared imminent today when a counter-proposal involving arbitration was prepared by the railroad presidents for the final submission to President Wilson. On the acceptability of this proposal by the Railway Brotherhood's Committee of 640 depended largely whether the President's personal efforts to mediate shall fail. Heretofore, the Brotherhood leaders have stood firmly against any plan to arbitrate their demand for an 8-hour day as a basis in determining wages. The railroad executives met early today to perfect the draft of their proposal and were expected to send it immediately to President Wilson, who had an engagement with the Brotherhood leaders about noon. The railroad presidents contend for arbitration on the ground that an 8-hour basic day sought by the Brotherhoods is actually a question of wages rather than of working hours, and consequently is properly subject to arbitration. President Wilson regards the situation as serious, but has not given up hope of a settlement. Headline: British naval ship torpedoed. The British naval steamer Duke of Albany has been torpedoed and sunk in the North Sea by a hostile submarine. The commander and 22 men were lost. 11 officers and 70 of the crew were saved, according to an Admiralty announcement. While determinedly resisting the Allied advance on the Somme front, the Germans are launching strong attacks on other sectors of the Western Front, the latest offensive reported being in the Champagne section. The Germans last night charged the French positions and penetrated them, but later were driven out. Headline: Socialists name 2 women, Mary D. Schoenberg and Mary Reinhardt of Yonkers, among their candidates. Although women are denied the privilege of voting for county officials in this county, that does not prevent 2 of that sex from being candidates for office. Party designations of the Socialist filed with the Elections Board today had several women as candidates. And that's the news from Yonkers 100 years ago today.